Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got the long awaited, definitely, because I've been waiting for this kit to come in for a couple of weeks now, Airfix 1/48 scale de Havilland Tiger Moth. Now, to be honest with you, as I said, I've been waiting for this kit for quite a while since Airfix first mentioned it, because it's one of those things, it's the golden age of flight. It's a beautiful aircraft, and obviously in 48 scale and things like that, I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see, Airfix really living up to their sort of tradition now of making beautiful box art, you know, that sort of golden era with the clouds and the plane, getting very sentimental, I know, but it is one of those ones which is, it's just a different pace of life, shall we say, especially in these troubled times we're in at the moment. So anyway, two colour schemes with this one, as you can see right out of the box. It is 1/48 scale, as you can see. Kit number for this one is A04104, okay, and then obviously we've got a little bit just down in here about the actual one, so it's basically saying it's the DH82A version that we've got down in here, and we've got one which is finished in the colours of the Royal Air Force Central Flying School Aerobatic Team Shuttleworth collection, done at the moment from 2018, and then we've got another one down in here which is at Hendon. Down there in Kent as well. Okay, so very, very nice indeed with those. So without further ado, let's get into it. So still sealed, I have not seen in here. I haven't seen any reviews as always. All of these thoughts are my own. Okay, so into the said box. Okay, one bag, I know, still pet peeved hate with it, but I'll get over it eventually. Alright, so you can see we have a very large decal sheet, so that's quite nice, and the traditional sort of instructions, as we see down here, as always. We'll start in the instructions. Okay. So, page one, as you can see, normal way of doing it as they do these days, which is right nice. It's got your colour things down in here as well, just pointing out some of the areas just to take a little bit of care of, okay? So basically like the floor pan, the seat being fitted to this one, controls, things like that, the bulkhead that goes around the actual front seat, okay, putting those in, the controls, we've got, I think that's the exhaust coming out the side, got a side view as well showing how that all goes in, the instrument panels, and as you can see it looks like we've got a little bit of detail on the inside as well, so it's showing you correctly putting those sort of 90 degrees in. Okay, very nice. And these ones down here, which I do believe are the exhausts, I could be wrong, but anyway, they're coming down as well, so just showing all of those areas in there. Okay, now if you're doing doors open, or you're going to be doing doors closed, so if you are opening them up, you can cut them open and have them down in open position, as you can see it down in there. Same goes as well with the flight stand. You do get a little bit of engine detail as well, so that's being shown in there just like that as well. So you've got the engine, fuselage halves going together, obviously the cockpit all on this side, and then you've got some of the panels, the exhaust, the engine mounts, obviously all being fitted on. We've got the cowlings going across the front, we've got the front parts, we've got the side panels on there, and all of these different areas going in to have the engine. Again, nice touch, engine open or closed, so you can see a little bit of detail down in there if you're having that actually opened on this one. And then we've basically got this one here, which looks like a do not glue, 25 is a jig, and it's a way for the highlight the fuselage in green. So there we go. So this is the area you need to sand off. So it's giving you a little jig down in here to put the flatter back onto it, which is a nice little touch, a clever little way. I must admit, I haven't seen that before. So you've got a jig, just don't glue it. It's not a permanent piece. You're going to be doing that, sanding it, and then taking it away, because we've got a different tail in here. So we're assuming we're going to have different versions of the actual Tiger Moth coming down the line, okay? So for this particular one that we got down in here, it's got this leading edge area at the front, which is then going to go into that flat area that you've created, okay? Again, it's just a clever way of getting multiple toolings out of one kit, okay? Tails going on, got the braces, things like that, and then obviously the little skid on the rear. Front, or the lower wing section I should say, being fitted on those. We've actually got the uprights being fitted in, and then the top part being fitted onto that one as well, okay? Top wing being fitted, seated down, keeping it all nice and square as you go right the way through. We've got the sort of actuators down in there for the actual the ailerons, and we've got the nose gear being fitted in there. Again, I was pointing out, which I made a fatal flaw on mine when I did the Buccaneer, is to fit the decal before you fit these bracing ones in, okay? Okay, over onto the other side, we've got wheels. Looks like we've got some weight on wheels as well, which is quite a nice touch. We've got different types of props as well, so picking out which version you're actually doing. Then we've got the cushions and the windscreens being fitted down into this one. doors, depending obviously if you've done open or close being fitted down there. Again, open or close if you're doing the actual engine shown. And then we've got the wiring. Okay, again, nothing to be worried about on this one. It's quite straightforward, just a little bit of time. But anyway, it's giving you some nice clear diagrams of actually how all the rigging goes on this one for the controls, and obviously just for the bracing wires being fitted in, all of those. I assume there'll be a little bit more of that on the other side. So again, bracing wires being fitted down into those one. Talks about the locations in detail. Again, a nice little touch with that. And then we've got the gorgeous colour scheme for this one. So you've got your standard ones. It is Decals for a lot of this. So the main fuselage you are going to have to do in the red, which is fair enough. The rest of it, you know, so obviously it's got your normal sort of Humbrol callouts for those, but your standard silvers, highly recommend if you want to use a silver for this one, is the actual LP11. I used that for recently on the Gladiator, and it looked absolutely fantastic for that type of metal finish. And then the one on the other side, if you prefer the one with the yellow, again, sorry, Headcorn Aerodrome, sorry, not Hendon, sorry, misread that earlier, but there we go, that one is in there just like that. Okay, the decals themselves look to be absolutely beautifully done, and again, we are not disappointed by these are absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, the quality of them, beautifully printed, good solid colour right the way through on these. Something that Airfix have really come a long way over the last few years is their decals. And as you can see, beautifully done, silkscreen printed instead of the sort of normal digital printing where they looked all a little bit grainy. So again, very, very nice indeed with those. So into the bag, as I say, one bag fits all. Okay, so in here we have the clear part. Let's have a look at the quick clear part just for the moment. Okay, so as you can see, beautifully clear. That is actually really clear for a thick part like that. That's actually not too bad at all. Very, very nicely done there. So no worries with the two little windshields. They are nice indeed. Okay, so straight into it. We've actually got the main body of this one. Now obviously we're not expecting my usual complaint with no riveting and that, because obviously we won't see them on here. But here we go. So we've got the fuselage sections. As you can see, some really nice textures with those. We've got the engine down in here, moulded in, as we can see. So some nice details on there. Love the ribbing coming through for the actual formers over the wings. That's actually very nice detail on those. Okay, then we've got the front cowls, the various areas over the cowling, the front of the actual engine, and then we've got the rudder. And again, we're assuming that's part of it. So we've got this little area at the top here, which I assume is just part of how it's done with the ribbing of over the top. And again, this tail system with this big flat plate on the front part of it. Okay, and again, very subtle with the actual moulding on that. Both sides looking just equally as crisp. Although, and this is one of those ones, how look, we're off on one. Can you see that on mine? Mine has got tiny, tiny little holes all over this. I've been Swiss cheesed and I can't work out if, I think it's pigment. They are, sorry, forget that, it's pigment. We've actually got pigment, obviously from the mould, onto this left over. But it looks like tiny holes on camera, but actually no, they all scrub off, so scrap all of that. Sorry, apologies for that. Okay, so down inside we've got some formers on the inside as well. Nice to see, no ejector pins anywhere where we're going to see them. Airfix are clearly learning here. Multiples down in the back end, none in here. Really nice touch with that, so no problems at all. And on both sides, as you can see, no problem with any of that whatsoever. So good, clean, crisp sprue right the way over. Okay, so wing section, obviously another important part of the model, as we can see down in here. So great detail right the way through. Lower parts of the wings you can see through here. Very, very nicely done. Again, control surfaces are only on the lower half, and as you can see down in here, we've got some of these reinforcement plates, stuff like that, looking very nice indeed. And again, it's just the way that you've got that nice texture with the fabric over the actual formers of the wings. And again, we've got the props, so we've got two types of props. So really you've got the flat-ended one, which again, mine doesn't, is it flat on one and not on the other, or have I notoriously got another short shot? I think I've actually got a short shot again. Why is it I get them? No matter what I seem to review of Airfix, I get a duff one. Either that or it has one flat-ended blade at the end. which I don't know. Surely not. Surely that must be a weight problem. Anyway, there we go. So that's those ones on there like that. Now into the nitty-gritty parts of it. As you can see, we'll start one and work our way through. Formers, more props, engines, all the areas. As you can see, the bracing, all these various parts. Weight on wheels, nice touch. We've got the cushions there, the various things, the exhaust. This is our template. You can see across the top. But hopefully one of the things I'm pointing out here is how clean and crisp this all is. It's actually very, very nicely moulded. Instrument panels, we've got the seats, the various parts, and then down on the blind side, as you can see, again, all looking very, very nice. Again, little things picking out. Beautiful gates between the actual parts here. Very, very small. Nicely done, very, very nicely done. So the smaller parts getting real delicate attention. The bigger ones, it doesn't really matter, but the small ones, no problem at all with any of that. And there you go. I have to say, it's probably one of those that I would build. I know I've done a lot of World War One, and we've done obviously the Gladiator recently as well, so I've done a lot of biplanes over the last few months, but actually from a golden era in aviation, that's got to be an absolute must for anyone's bucket list. And that is a really nice 1/48 scale now Tiger Moth, which we've been missing in the hobby for quite some time now. So there we go, that's the Airfix de Havilland Tiger Moth. As always, it is available through the PM store for a measly £18. So if you want to get it direct from us, you can follow the link down below.